The Master Phil in Your Corner podcast is brought to you by philross.com. Books, videos, Master Phil's survival strong living supplements, as well as self-reliance and performance enhancement presentations. It is also brought to you by the Bodybell method, workshops and certifications, the world's only kettlebell, bodyweight, and dynamic tension system that carries continuing education credits for trainers, instructors, coaches, doctors of physical therapy, and chiropractors. In person and virtual options are available. Please visit bodybellmethod.com. Greetings and welcome to another episode of Master Phil in Your Corner. This is episode number 136, and we have an incredibly special guest on today. She's been featured on Fox, on Newsmax, too many podcasts to even mention. She is a leader in the community here in Bergen County and has actually gone nationwide with her message. Welcome, Alex Bougher. Come on the show, Alexandra.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure. I know we've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's the last time we saw each other in person. So I'm glad that we're finally making this happen.
Yes, definitely. It's great to have you here. The thing is that, why you've been so highlighted in the news recently is because of the situation I had with the Girl Scouts. Now, the Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts have been, a staple of American life for well over a century, right? And now there's been so many changes. Now they just call it Scouts. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. But to me, it's about being outside, doing good for other people, community service, learning skills that will help you in the wilderness and just in the community at large. But what's going on right now? What can you tell us about this experience that you had?
For sure. Well, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, these are all amazing morals and values that we wanted to instill in our young ladies. And of course, boys in the Boy Scouts as well. But there's a reason why it was separate. And it's important for everyone to have their own space. It's important for boys to be with boys and do those sort of activities and have those talks with each other. And it's just very important for young ladies to be around other strong young ladies, around their age group, and to be doing healthy, fun activities with one another. But most importantly, really, helping their community out, I think, is number one. In my troop, that was, paramount. I was like, that is the most important thing. That's what we're going to focus on. We're going to have fun. We're going to fish. We're going to camp. We're going to rock climb. Whitewater rafting is on our list for this year. And so, lots of fun things, but what are we going to do for the people around us? And that's what's going to help these young ladies grow as people, as, strong, independent women when they get older. And, how will they, sort of go forward and hopefully one day get married and have children of their own and therefore give it to their children, right? Because that's what we're doing. We can't be with them forever. We have to raise strong, independent ladies. So I've been with Moms for Liberty, right, for 5 years, but I've been a Girl Scout leader for 7.
Wow.
So it's been a while. If nobody knows my background, I'll touch on it for like a second.
Please do, please.
Because it's sort of.
I know you. I know what you've done. You've been, but not everybody does. So
not everybody does.
Not yet.
So
After this podcast,
I'll explain a little bit.
Yeah.
Because listen, we all grew up. I don't blame any parents that want the best for their children, but we all grew up pretty much the same way, where you just innately trust schools, teachers, and these people. Why do we do that? Why are we brought up that way? Who are these people? And most people don't question that. The only reason that I questioned it a little bit is because I was sent away to an abusive boarding school in Maine called Elan. And they did everything there. They physically abused you, sexually abused you, emotionally abused you, brainwashed you. And you never went home. You couldn't talk to your parents for a while until
Can,
you were
can we
brainwashed.
pause right there just to let you
Yes,
know? Okay,
sure,
because
sure.
let's hit on this. Let's expand on this a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I know you know some of my background, but I'm also a coach, and I
Yes.
was a coach in the Catholic schools,
Yep.
and we have to go through groomer training, and
Yes.
exactly what you explained is how a groomer trains a kid. That's how they groom them for sexual abuse, for any other type of abuse. They separate them from the parents. They become the go-to. They get between the child and the parent. That gives them free reign to do whatever they want to do. Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah, I mean, you like said it right there, and that's anything. Like I'm also a cheer coach. I help run the Bible club in our school, and every single group or organization that you're working with that have to do with children, you have to go through a background check and certifications. And I remember actually like saying, God, who needs this? Like, isn't this common sense?
Yeah,
But
right.
also thinking like, oh, I guess it's good they're doing it. But like, duh, you're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
going to talk to a child this way. You're not going to do these things.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
but yes, that's what they did. So they separated us. They broke us down. It was like yell therapy. You're a POS. I don't know who watches this show, so I'm going to watch my language.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. No
they would
cursing.
just okay, no
Yeah.
cursing. That's what I
Yeah.
figured.
Yeah.
So but they would call you these awful names, right?
Wow.
To break you down, break you down, break you down, and then this way about a year in, they could try to build you up how they thought you should be, right? Or so that if they did certain things to you, you wouldn't question it, right? You wouldn't question their authority at all. And so I remember distinctly in the beginning thinking like somebody's going to come and save me from this, like my parents, the state, somebody. This is not right. I'm a kid, right? I was 14.
I was gonna say, how
Somebody's
old were
going to
you?
come get me.
Yeah.
And the thing is, nobody did because I mean, you definitely have some bad people, right? In the state and the government and the school system, whatever. But for the most part, they just sort of trust them like, oh, this is where she was sent. She's well taken care of. And we're going to just trust the process. Well, that taught me to never trust the process and to never just trust somebody right off the bat. Like, I want to know who you are, what your beliefs are, what you do in your spare time, what kind of parent you are. Because if you're going to be around my child, my children, and
Mhm.
other people's children, that's very important. So that brings me to the Girl Scouts. So I said, well, if anybody is going to watch my kids, I'm going to be there, right? I want to be involved. I want to know who these people are. I was very lucky that my co-leaders, I had a kindergarten teacher who was wonderful and actually a male police officer. And so I had like the winning team for leaders and just like an incredible group of children. And they all wanted to do the same stuff, adventure, outdoors, help everybody. They just recently earned their bronze award, which is helping in the community. So
Mhm.
figuring out a problem and then 2 years of helping to fix that issue. Um, they wanted, I'm trying to remember originally if it was, I think it was sick kids first
Mhm.
and then the seniors and
Okay.
then because they have been working with the seniors already for many years, they want to like elevate that. How can we make their living better? And then the other one was homeless animals. So we said, listen, you're already sick kids is a hard one because they're not going to let 30 kids into a hospital. Like it's just never going to happen. Love it. We'll maybe figure out what we could do for them, but like they're not going to let us in.
Yeah.
Seniors, we already do it, right? So I was like, these kids bake for them. They play games with them. They sing for them in the holidays. They spend so much time that when we see them, they're always like, oh, remember when they were this little? Or remember, like they have stories about them as if
Right.
they're
Right.
family.
Yeah.
Beautiful, like beautiful.
Awesome.
They made blankets for them for like, just anything that they need. So we went with the homeless animals. And they actually found this local shelter and they and would go and walk the dogs. So they could sign up on their own. They had to be background checked. They had to be vetted, even the kids. And they went and helped them and would, raise money for them or get donations or walk them. And it was just like really, really beautiful to watch them grow these past years and come up with these ideas themselves.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because again, you're raising these like good little people with great
Yes.
values.
Yes.
So how you have National Girl Scouts, and then you have, like, for instance, Northern New Jersey Girl
Right.
Scouts. Then you'll have a service unit manager in your town, and
Mhm.
then you have your troops, right?
Okay.
So we run our troop ourselves. We meet whenever we want. We do whatever activities we want. We could do whatever we want.
Yeah, I've led a bunch of
However,
activities for Girl Scouts. I did fitness and self-defense. Man, I just did one. I just did three of them last year. Yeah.
yes. Well, that's the great thing. And that is the beauty of it, because a lot of times when we get to what they did, they'll say, well, you can pick and choose what you want to do. Well, that's true on one level, for sure. We did whatever we wanted to do, whatever the girls wanted to do. We would vote on it. But then there's a influence, and it's a huge influence. And the service unit manager in our town would always put the town events, so not just for my troop, but all of the troops,
Mhm.
in this church that had a pride flag up, that had a progressive pride flag up, so non-binary, trans, all those things, and held an event for all the children of the community, offering ice cream, pizza, a fun time. Let's talk about your gender feelings and your feelings, hosted by a 13-year-old boy identifying as a girl, so
Okay.
transgender.
Wait, wait. Okay. First of all,
Is your brain on fire right now,
yeah,
Andy?
yeah, I'm about to explode, and I'm going to keep it under wraps. But the thing is that if you even just look on a biological standpoint, because I know we hear the science of science, human beings have 20,000 genes. Okay, of those 20,000 genes, the functionality between men and women differs in 6,500 of them. So, on a cellular level, men and women are different by one third. If you are denying one third of your biology, something's wrong. And listen, this person needs help, not affirmation that it's okay. And we see how that's working out when they're telling them it's okay. You see all these issues that we're having. We're creating mental health issues, and they're not being addressed. They're being said, "Oh, it's okay, it's fine." And then worse, in the state of New Jersey, as I know you are well aware, but I don't know how many people are, that a teacher is not allowed to give information to a parent that their child identifies as, a girl when it's a boy, boy when it's a girl, or as a chicken or a moose or a cat or anything, right? They're
A
not allowed to
bagel.
do it. Or bagel, bagel. You know, they
We
can't
had a
do that.
bagel in New Jersey.
Oh, with cream cheese or lox or
That's how. Thank you. I was like, can we have specifics?
right,
Are you
right.
like a living bagel? Do you have lox? Do you have capers?
Yeah, pumpernickel. I don't know. Oh my God, that's insane. But the fact that the parent is being pushed out and there's a wedge between the parent and the child, that is also, I mean, it's right there. It's not indicative. It is how children are groomed, and this is what's going on. And now they're doing it in the Girl Scouts. Now you have a 13-year-old boy who, first of all, 13-year-olds are confused as it is anyway, right? Look, and the other thing is that they're attacking the kids at this young age. Why? Because most of their thought predominantly occurs in the amygdala. That's based purely on emotion. About the prefrontal cortex, that doesn't happen until later in life. Hey, maybe if you're in college and you're, doing, this type of study on transgenders and something like that, okay, fine, you're in college, you're a post grad, something that's fine. But you're a 7-year-old girl and you're being told that this is cool. And look, kids are always looking to do something that's different to make them feel
Sure.
special.
They're very impressionable.
100%.
I mean, and listen, you don't know what you're getting from them.
No,
My middle child is 11. I don't know in the morning how she's waking up. Is she in a great mood? Is she a little moody? Are her
you
hormones
wait.
like flying all over the place? And thankfully, she's my second daughter, so I'm used to this. I said, okay, I remember being mad at my mom. Like, don't take it personally. Talk to them this way, and you do handle them gently, a little gently, because they are going through. Think about when we have a bad day, right? And we're allowed to say, oh gosh, leave me alone, I'm having a bad day.
Right, right,
But
right.
for some reason, we don't allow that from children. Children are going through so much more, and they don't have the tools that we have to deal with
No.
those things. And therefore, they need adults' help. So having a 13-year-old run this event with no adults, right? There's no adult, like, I don't know what you call, I guess, coordinator for
Supervision.
that event.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no. I called the town. I was so upset. I'm like, what is happening here? First of all, who's the adult running this event? There is none. What do you mean there is none?
How,
Well, it's the Gender Sex Alliance from the high school that's throwing it. So it's teen kids throwing this event at this church with a 13-year-old in charge.
what kind of church is that anyway?
Yeah.
And
It's
listen,
another,
and the
yeah.
thing is, look, and I'm sure you feel the same way. I'm not against anyone or any, I'm actually for them, probably more for them than the people that are treating, because evidently they're not treating them right. But,
Right.
it's everything has its place, and this is not its place. And children should be left to be children. They're too
Correct.
young and malleable.
Correct. Well, the problem is it is a mental health issue, and it needs to be handled by the people that the parents and whoever they choose to help handle that situation,
Yes.
not people that are affirming this and sort of letting it go off the deep end. And now we see with these tragedies that have been happening over the last couple years, the one just recently last week,
Yeah.
and again, it's the same thing. It's the same thing, and that you know, child. I mean, I think he just turned, he just entered adulthood.
Yep.
He himself felt so upset about what he had done to himself that he wanted to go back. He was so upset that he had to, leave. How different could his life have been had his mother so strong and said, no, we're not doing this. We're not changing your name. We're not affirming this. This is who you are. Let's get you help someplace else. I'm sure that that person would have had a very different life. And those poor children, this would not have happened to. So
Oh
we
yeah.
as adults need to take responsibility for what we say to kids, how we act around them, and what we're showing them. So hosting, I don't even know, 150 kids at a church that's showing all of these things is extremely irresponsible and inappropriate. And so we never allowed our troop to go there. We sort of said, listen, if you and your mom want to sign up on this on your own, that's up to you, but I won't take my troop there because of what's being shown there.
Yeah.
So I posted about it. I said, hey, what is going on in our community? I called out the mayor. I said, what are you going to do about this? I know it's a private church, but these are our children in our town.
Yes.
It's our job, right? It's our job
Yes.
if something, right? Like, I just don't, you
Yeah.
don't just sit back and say, oh, but it's private church. I can't do anything about it. No, you say, okay, how can we stop
Oh, wait.
this?
Oh,
Because
oh
it's
no. Wait. They
inappropriate.
didn't have a problem shutting down the churches during COVID, but now it's a
Oh, no,
problem.
they had no problem.
Okay, now it's a problem. Okay.
Now it's a
I just want to
problem.
get that
Now it's
straight.
a
I just want to
problem.
get that straight.
Right. Well, they bend the laws. So,
Yeah.
the kids could miss 3 months of school and still pass. But now if you miss 18 days, you have to redo your year. I
Yeah.
mean, like, make sense. So in June, so anyway, I do this whole thing. Of course, I get called all these names, hateful, blah, blah, blah. Nothing happens with the church, but it does shed a light for the Girl Scout families what's going on. A lot of them start pulling away, not going there, realizing what's going on. In June, our service unit manager posts from the Northern New Jersey Girl Scouts site that said, Happy Pride Month. At Girl Scouts, we're all affirming. We're all going to be doing these activities, blah, 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 blah. And she posted it in our Park Ridge Girl Scout page and said, we all agree as Girl Scouts, we're all affirming, whatever. I got phone calls from people again. I'm going to pull my daughter out. This is not cool. We're not doing this right. And the parents were upset again. So I actually hadn't even seen the post. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what's happening?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I found the post and I shared it from the Northern New Jersey Girl Scouts. And I said, to be clear, my troop will not be doing this. My troop will not be talking to a child about anything sexual in nature. It is inappropriate to talk to minors about this.
Yes. 100%.
Not doing it. That's it. And like nothing hateful, nothing, just we're not doing this.
Mhm.
And the service unit manager complained to New Jersey Girl Scouts. And instead of calling me in and saying, hey, we'd love to talk about this, like
Mhm.
what's going on here, is a problem in town, like, whatever, they asked me to call them. I called them. I had to talk to two specific women. They said, we need to talk about your role as a troop leader in Girl Scouts. You will no longer be allowed to be a leader with Girl Scouts. We've met a few times without you. This is our final decision. You can't be a Girl Scout member, and your daughter, who's 11, cannot be a Girl Scout member. What?
Did you lawyer up good? Because if not, I got great ones for you.
We're talking to a few as we
Okay, you
speak,
let me
but you
know.
can also throw some more my
Oh,
way.
I got some real good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
People are like, oh my, like actually my friend Lou, who's in New York, but he's in New York. He's like, I'd
yeah,
love to take this case on.
yeah,
Yes, you can't do this. First of all, you broke protocol. It's discriminatory. I mean, I could go on and on. Literally, I could go on and on. But
yeah.
so then I asked, I said, could you tell me exactly what post you're talking about that I'm being fired over? And she goes, well, it's a volunteer position. We can't fire you. And I'm like, you're right. I actually paid a volunteer, which is
Yeah. You pay to volunteer to be
asinine.
part. I know, I know.
It's the only organization that you pay to volunteer. Every other one, they're just so happy to have a volunteer.
Yes.
Here, it's like, I forget what I paid, $30, $40 a
Yeah,
year,
whatever.
and then plus your kid, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, you're joking, right? On top of the hours and money that comes out of
Yeah.
your own pocket. And we do
Come on.
that lovingly. Like
Yes.
somebody can't afford a trip. No problem. We have you.
Hook them
Like
up.
we all do this, right?
Right.
No, we can't tell you that. What do you mean you can't tell me? All right, put me on the phone with someone I can talk to. No, we're not allowed to do that. What? Like it's just what they did is so backwards and so wrong. And I got probably I couldn't even count the amount of support that I've gotten,
Yeah.
phone calls, text messages, just everybody in support. But what was surprising was the stories that came out of, oh my gosh, that happened to me in this town, or this happened here, or I started to hear this stuff.
Yes.
And, that was just on day one. I mean, like it was
Oh, wait,
insane.
wait.
And
Now we got class action lawsuit.
that, right. So now this is day one, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the phone call, they kept going like, oh, you're going to need a lawyer to get this information, all this stuff. What?
Yeah.
And so I'm like listening to them. And I'm like, you know what? There's so many families out there that don't have the resources that I have. I'm like, you don't know what you just did. And like the lady obviously had no idea what I meant by that.
Yeah.
But that's when I got on the phone call and I said,
Yeah.
okay, who can I talk to? I'm going to call every contact I have. I'm going to make a post and make it go viral. We're going to do all this stuff. And we're going to bring the attention that it deserves and
Yes.
that other families deserved a long time ago. They just didn't know, who to talk to or how to get it done. Or maybe, they didn't have the platform. Luckily for me, we have great friends everywhere. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I need to go on Newsmax. I need to go on Fox. And they made it happen. And
Wow.
so it's out there and people are absolutely outraged about this. So we're not going to take it lying down. We're not going to take it any which way. We're going to stand up for all the families. And, the interesting thing is everyone that's asked Newsmax, it's always no comment, no comment, no comment. These
What?
people have comments to make about everything else except when it has to do with children getting hurt and the safety of a child and doing the wrong thing. This is the time that they're going to keep their mouth shut. When I called them to say, hey, troops are taking these kids to BLM rallies, I think it was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, yes, that's great. That's diversity. That's, inclusion. That's being supportive. No, you're
No.
taking children to a violent rally
Put him
and
in
they could get
harm's way.
hurt
Yeah.
in harm's way.
Yes.
That's okay. So yes, we've been busy with that. And but it's interesting. You had made a comment before about, breaking up the kids and them just sort of inserting themselves.
Yes.
Down in Gloucester County, I think it was like
Mhm.
2 weeks ago, they're talking about this law that's going to put the parents in trouble if
Yes.
the kids get in trouble. They get a warning and a fine
Yes.
or whatever. But the reason why I didn't 100% agree with that, right? Just personally, there's a lot of great parents out there. You could have 4 kids and maybe that one kid's having an issue, or maybe that one kid met that one person that's grooming them.
Mhm.
Maybe they have been doing everything that they can to, help their child. You don't know that. Policy 5756, as you mentioned before, in schools. You have schools. We don't have it in, I think it's, oh gosh, no, the number's up to like 90 something now. Schools that have gotten rid of it, but there's
Mhm.
still so much more schools that have it. You're going to hide stuff from parents and then tell
Yes.
those parents, well, now you're in trouble.
Right. Right.
What do you mean? You
That's
did all this stuff.
That's what immediately hit my mind as soon as I heard about that situation where we're going to hold the parents responsible. Yeah, it sounds great on surface, but you know what though? You have put such a wedge between the child. The schools, the public school systems have put such a wedge between the child and the parent that when a parent tries to go and do something, the schools overrule them. Like, if they
Yeah.
suspect something of you, if they suspect, and they can construe these things when they meet with their school therapists that, oh, we're sending, all of a sudden, child services shows up at your house knocking on your door,
Right. Right.
and like,
Well,
what?
and they want like,
Of course.
now I'm going to sound like I fell down a rabbit hole, but unfortunately, when you get to talk to all these people around the world, and you talk to people that save kids from being trafficked, and you learn a lot about what's going on. We're not in the bubble of New Jersey anymore. You learn
No.
about the trafficking trade. You learn about how 65% of trafficked kids starts on school grounds. Well,
Yeah.
why do you think that's happening? And so they want child protective services in there, because once they're in the system, they'll get lost in the
Yes.
system. Where
Uh,
where are those kids going? Where are all
Yeah.
these missing kids?
And then what do
And
you do? They
so
get,
this.
yeah. No, go ahead. I'm
No, no,
sorry.
go ahead. No,
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 and
you
then
got.
oh, can I? Okay, okay, thanks. So then they go and they pull they come between the child and the parent. They say, well, your kid thinks that she's a water buffalo, so you have to honor that. And you're saying, no, my kid is a kid and she's going to do what she's supposed to do, and school, you're going to treat her like that. And then they get the psychologist involved, and then they say, well, you're going to lose your child, which they will do. Um, I mean, it happens in California
I was
already.
gonna say it happened in California. Yep.
Yep, yep. And and they said, well, where's the right of the parent? Now, the purpose of child services is to protect a child from abuse, not to force feed their agenda, which is what they've done. And now, since their agenda doesn't work and kids are going wild because they have no discipline at home because the parent can't enforce the rules of home, now the kids are going wild and destroying everything. Oh, we're going to hold you, you're going to hold you accountable for your children's behavior. Yet we're the ones who propagated it.
Right. Right. But that works for their agenda. So
Yep. Yeah.
let's make it happen. I have a funny story. I run the picture day at my two youngest elementary school. And it just happened by chance. I'm like super busy. I do the book fair and everything else
Yeah.
there. But like 3 years ago, they called me up. They're like, oh my gosh, nobody can make it. Could you come? Like, we know you run stuff. So we know that you can make this work and run picture day. Okay, sure, no problem. So, and I'm proud to say it was the first year they ever got pictures done before lunch. It's so much fun. It was awesome. And now we do it every year. I have a team. Me
Awesome.
and this other mom. She's awesome. We love it. We look forward to it. I called
Yeah.
yesterday. I'm like, what day's picture day? Okay, I have it in my schedule. And we want to like beat our record
The
every year.
record.
The record. So now sixth grade is the toughest, okay?
Yeah.
Because my kids' school elementary is K through 6.
Yes.
But sixth grade, they're graduating. So you're not just doing class pictures, but then you have
Mhm.
to do a big sixth grade picture at the end. So they have extra pictures taken.
Mhm.
And we're doing pictures, and they would give us a list, but if they weren't ready, I'd grab another class. And we wanted to make this happen. I go to grab one of the sixth grade classes, and there is a girl dressed in a taco costume.
Okay.
Like a full on, you ever seen those big hot dog ones? It looked
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
but like a taco, right? And I'm like, okay, you got to take that off. And she's like, no, I'm a taco. Like, I'm gonna take, this is how I'm gonna take my
Wait,
picture.
wait, wait.
And
Was it
I look,
Tuesday? Was it Tuesday? Because Taco Tuesday, I could get it.
I don't
You
know what day it
know.
fell on.
Oh, it was Wednesday. Oh,
I
forget
don't
it.
know.
Forget
It may have
it.
been, but like regardless. So I look at the teacher. This poor teacher's rolling his eyes at me, like, I can't believe I have to deal with this nonsense. And I walked up because I said, let me make sure. I actually didn't know this child very well,
Yeah.
different grade than my kids at the time. So I said, is there anything I need to know? Like any like behavioral problems? Because otherwise I'm going to put my foot down and say, this kid's got to take this costume off. And they're like, yeah, they kind of let her do what she wants to do. Like, you have to let her wear it. I'm like, all right. Like, it is what it is. So we take the individual pictures. She's a taco. And we take the class picture. She's in her taco costume. And they go, like, this is the beginning of the day. They go back to their classroom. And I see her like throughout the day, like throughout the morning walking. She doesn't have her costume on anymore. I'm like, we should retake their photo. And at the same time, the secretary walks in, and I was like, would you kill me if I redid this 6th grade class's photo? She's like, why? What happened? I'm like, that girl doesn't have her taco costume on. I'm going to say something was wrong with it and we have to retake it. And she was like, yes, but I don't know anything about this. I'm like, okay.
The only thing
So
about what? The only thing about what?
like us redoing it, and why? Because people are so afraid to like ruffle the
Take a
feathers of
stand.
this
Yeah.
child's, or it's so crazy. But I really felt it wasn't fair. Like, listen, if her parents don't want to put their foot down,
Yeah.
that's on them. But it's
Mhm.
not fair that this entire class had to take a picture with a taco. Like,
Yeah.
that's not fair to everybody else, right? So I go down to the teacher and I was like, we're going to redo the pictures, but don't tell them that we're doing that. Say we're going down, like, whatever. So she doesn't put it back on. So he walks the class and he's like, yes, thank you. So he walks the class back down and they walk in and they're like, oh, sorry, guys. Something happened with the camera. We have to redo the class picture. And you could see, she was like, I need to go put on my thing. And we're like, oh, we don't have time for that. You need to just like, and we sort of like rushed
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
made it happen. And we got the picture without the taco. And I was so happy, but it was so ridiculous. Like,
Yes.
for the first time, felt what it was like to be in that school and feel that pressure that these teachers felt, or that the staff felt, because they weren't allowed to say anything or do
Yeah.
anything, and it really made me feel for them a little bit, but at the same time, just do what's right. Like,
Oh yeah.
like, I
Yeah.
feel for you, but anyway, that's my taco story.
Yeah. Believe me, I work in the school system too.
Yeah.
I'm a professor, and I also teach at the I teach high school kids as well that come onto our campus. But I've had some pretty funny stories, but everything's worked out pretty well for me. So I kind of
That's good.
pretty much I stand my ground. I'm like, no. Yeah, so
That's good.
uh,
You have to.
you
You
have
have
to.
to. Good will always prevail. Think
Mhm.
about the people that lost their job because they wouldn't take the COVID vaccine.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now they don't have that poison in their body. And a lot of them are suing and getting back pay and getting their jobs. And like, don't buckle under pressure.
Nope.
It will all work out in the end.
Yeah.
Just do the right thing. And that's what I tell with parents, like, for back to school.
Yeah.
If you don't want to vaccinate your kids, you don't have to vaccinate your kids.
No.
If you don't want to have them in that sex ed class where they're learning, and again, PG rated here, I can't even say on here what they're learning in 3rd and 5th grade, which is like insane to me.
Ludicrous. Ludicrous.
Ludicrous. You don't have to fill out like, we have
Yeah.
momsforliberty.org has opt-out forms,
Mhm.
but on my Facebook page, Moms for Liberty Bergen County, we have one specific for New Jersey. It's
Mhm.
like 3.5, 4 pages long, and it does every single like curriculum app
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
program that they use specifically for New Jersey.
Yeah.
And they take it. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
Your kids, instead of when they learn that lesson, they'll read a book, they'll catch up on homework. Those lessons are not so often that they're missing that much school. Like, they're just going to sit
No.
in the library
No.
and catch up.
Let me tell you, look, in the book that we use, I teach health class. I'm, master's in health and sports
Oh,
science.
so you know.
So I know. And guess what I do? I don't teach it.
Good.
No, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm
Good.
just not doing
Well,
it.
honestly, in our town, the elementary school won't do it either. They're like,
Yeah.
we're just not going to say
Yeah.
anything because
Yeah.
whatever.
I say it.
But
I'm okay. I'm saying it right now. I'm
yeah,
on there. I don't care. I'm
yeah,
not doing it. You can't make me. That's that.
yeah,
Just not doing it.
yeah. I think they don't say anything because they don't want to get in trouble with the state. Like, what I've been told is, and then the state will replace them and you'll get someone who will do that.
Yeah.
So they just don't say anything, but I'm okay with that.
Mhm.
Like, literally, when in our town, when they found out the terms that they were going to learn in 3rd grade and what they were going to be shown in 5th grade, we had a huge a town meeting, and they actually had to move it because there was hundreds of people that showed up. And normally it's like 5 people that show up.
Yeah.
And we said, you don't have to do this. And the superintendent actually lied and said that they did. So I listed the schools that were saying no. And it said, you would just lose some funding. So he goes, well, yes, we would lose funding. Okay, so you're putting money in front of what's right with our children.
Right.
Number 1. I said, number 2, I'm going to read you the terms that the 3rd graders are listening to. In this entire room of hundreds of people, there was only one child. It was all adults. One child, about 12, 13 years old, had headphones on so they couldn't hear. I started to read the list for third grade. He said, Mrs. Bougher, I need you to stop for a moment. We have a minor in the room. This is inappropriate. What? I'm like, you just proved my point.
Sorry.
Like I couldn't have planned that better. Like if I planned it, like that
That's
would be
hilarious. I know.
hilarious. The whole room was like, what?
What? I know.
So they ended up taking out that part of the curriculum, and they don't do it. But if we, the parents, didn't pay attention to that, didn't ask for the curriculum ahead of time, didn't go through it and say, whoa, this is inappropriate, they would have just taught
Yeah.
it to them.
Oh yeah. I know. So yeah, that's what we're facing. And the thing is that, again, like you said, we've always been taught to trust and this, that, and the other thing. And that's one good thing that COVID did. It showed us, hey, what's going on here? I was never this cynical prior to 5 years ago. But when I saw what was happening, I saw the rules that were being enforced and like the just abject lies. Um, I'm like, yeah, no, no. And then I saw what they were doing with the kids in school. Oh my God, it's just insanity.
Well, and how they think that they have somehow more of a right over the
Right.
children
Yeah.
than you do.
Yeah.
I mean, case in point, Florida now just got rid of their mandates, right?
Mandate
Their
vaccines. Yeah.
vaccine mandates. And hopefully all the other states will follow.
Yeah.
And I know Kennedy is doing, huge
Yeah.
presser today, right? He's
Mhm.
talking about what's going on and he's addressing what they've learned and what they're going to do. And that's all wonderful. But I remember when we were scared that the school was going to vaccinate our kids without our permission.
Right.
That's how scary it got, that it was like you dropped off your kids at the door shut,
Right.
and all of a sudden they were in charge of your kids. And
Mhm.
so that can't ever be allowed to happen again.
No. No.
And so the
No.
complacency has got to stop. Like,
Oh,
yes, I love Trump. I voted for Trump. I fought
mhm.
hard for Trump, but
Mhm.
he is not going to do everything for everybody.
No, you got to be
We can't
yourself.
just, you
Yeah.
have to do it
You have
yourself.
to yourself.
And on every level, you have to
Yes.
run for board of
Yes.
ed. You have to run for
Yes.
town council,
Yep.
right? And
Yeah.
we have this huge election coming up.
Yep.
And I want to say it was only 68% voted in the last election.
No.
Where is everybody?
44% voted in the last
Was it
gubernatorial.
44?
44% voted in the gubernatorial election. That's disgusting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Crazy.
I'm sorry. I meant the last, the presidential election.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, in our state. Oh, was it 44 for the
44%.
gubernatorial?
Yep.
Even worse.
I know.
Even worse.
This is your
Guys,
state.
this is your state. And they complain and they say they want all these things, but then they don't go and vote
They
for
don't
the
go.
people.
Yep.
Right.
During
They
this whole
don't get
time.
involved.
Yep. When I went to almost every board of ed meeting, and they would just like this when I walked in, they would shake because I would just lambaste them with facts and real
Yes.
statistics and real science, and they had no idea how to deal with me because I'm on the inside. I'm a professor.
Right.
I see all the crap before it comes to the other schools. So
Right. Well, that's the best. We have so many teachers, like a para, like anything staff wise in schools. And there are like the biggest members. They're the ones that help the most because they're the ones that are seeing this. And they're like, I didn't sign up for this. I didn't go to school to teach this. I don't want to be put in a position where I have to do this to children. And so, maybe they won't show their face at some things because they don't want to get fired. But behind the scenes, they are on. They're like, what do I need to do? How can we change things?
Good.
And that's sad that they feel that way as well.
Is.
Some of them are out there and they're like, I don't care. Like, I'm going to say what I want to say. But some are truly, really, really scared to lose their jobs.
Yeah.
And so we give them the quieter behind the scenes job.
Yeah, cool. Hey,
but
I know you have another appearance coming up on Newsmax.
I do. Yes.
Shortly. And we could go on forever. And we're definitely got to do this.
We could.
Awesome. And I knew it would be too. So how
can have a good time.
Yeah. How can people get in touch with you?
Okay, so you can go to momsforliberty.org, go to your state, find your county, and then it connects you. If you're in Bergen, it would connect you with me. It gives my cell and my email. If you don't have a county, just pick the county next to you. They're more than willing to help. If you'd like to speak with me, just find Bergen County, and I'll help you as well. I have no
Awesome.
problem. We were just helping Connecticut out yesterday. We're going to actually head over there and help them a little bit because they need a lot of help.
They need a lot of
We're
help.
always working with New York,
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, but we go everywhere. We have Facebook, Moms for Liberty Bergen County.
Mhm.
X is Moms for Liberty Bergen County, and so is Instagram. So we're on all the things.
Fantastic. Well, Alex, great to see you. Good luck with your next appearance. We'll look forward to seeing you on Newsmax. Which one is it going to be on? One or two?
That's a good question. It is, you know what? I'd have to look. Let's say it is. Oh, and now here's Fox. It is Fox. It just says Newsmax, Florida, National Desk.
That's probably Bianca.
Okay, I'm not sure. I know it's.
That's
I know
regular.
that I'm.
That's
Okay,
yeah,
I know that I'm talking about Kennedy and what he's doing right now.
yeah.
So I all morning was trying to like listen to him in between work and other shows. He did a great job. Oh
Mhm.
my gosh, I probably only got to listen to half of it, and I was like cheering. I'm like, yes.
Awesome.
We need to fight for medical freedom. This
Mhm.
is so incredibly important.
Yes.
I have been fighting for parents, helping them with the religious exemptions, medical exemptions, and to be absolutely terrified that you have to put something in your child's body because you don't think you have a choice is horrifying. And parents need to know that they do have a choice and they
Yes.
don't have to do it. So
Awesome.
very excited to talk about that on Newsmax.
Well, I can't wait to see it. And thanks for coming
All
on.
right.
Look forward to seeing you again. And strength and honor.
All right. Thank you.